Yeah, I was videotaping one of your patrol officers the other day.
Okay.
And they told me that it was your company policy that we're not supposed to videotape your employees. Is that correct?
I can find out information for you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Dan.
Dan. And what's your last name?
I don't feel like providing that at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on for a second. This is Adam. How can I help you?
Hey, I was videotaping one of your patrol officers the other day. And she told me specifically that your company's policy was they were not to be videotaped or photographed. Is that the company policy?
The company policy. Our company policy can't supersede what the law says. The First Amendment rights dictate that you can take photos and videotape anybody that you want. The only context of that is if it were, technically, if you were in an area where it would be unreasonable for us to think that, our actions should be basically contained. If there's reasonable expectation that you could be filmed and or had a photo taken of you because you're in a public location, it's completely legal. Absolutely. Where were you at when this happened?
I was at Director's Park. I was with the Occupy.
Oh, no, absolutely, man. Yeah, you absolutely can film anything you want. Sometimes what happens, you have to kind of put yourself in the places of security folks and law enforcement. Sometimes I think there can, on occasion, be a certain uneasiness associated with filming and or photography, just sort of by industry standards. There's this weird sort of nuance that exists, unfortunately. And yeah, but as it relates to our policy, absolutely, you can film away, my man. Do what you want to do. The only thing I would ask is if you guys are out there filming, it's just, don't be too in our face about it. Film us if you want, but we also have a job to do, so try and just take that into consideration when you're out there with us. Just let us do our jobs. But I can talk with the officer. What date was this, so I can find out which officer it was and make sure that she's clear on what the expectations are?
Shoot. Not
what
yesterday.
She look like? Do you remember what she looked like?
It was the blonde lady. She's a little shorter. I think it would have been, this is Friday. It might have been Tuesday night, I think it was.
Tuesday night.
And she said...
Petite, small frame?
Yes, yep.
Okay, yeah, I think I know who that is. I'll get a hold of her and talk with her and make sure that she's clear on what it is that can and cannot be done.
Yeah, because she called in some backup, and called in another security guard. And it was, and I was not being aggressive. I'm respectful enough that I'm not going to be paparazzi.
Okay. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm a professional photographer on the side, so believe me, I'm all about making sure that if I want to take a picture, I can take a picture. So let me talk with this lady and find out kind of from her opinion why she was kind of making that decision to go that extreme with something like that, because that's definitely not part of our company policy. Really, what our policy defines is that there is no jurisdiction when it comes to photography and or videotaping unless we are inside of a controlled access area where it's private property. So if you were to go inside of a private property, we could then demand that you shut off your film and or video. But when you're in a public space, when there's reasonable expectation that you can be filmed and or photographed just by the nature of the site, i.e. Pioneer Courthouse Square, Director Park, South Park blocks, absolutely.
Yeah.
Protected completely.
Well, the irony is I didn't have the problem so much with the security guard or your service. Most of the problem actually was with my fellow occupiers.
No.
So
okay, well.
So that's a whole separate issue, but
yeah.
I just wanted to clear out or make sure that you weren't instructing people to do that.
No, you guys are good to go, man. Film away. And again, the only time it really can ever become an issue is because technically you are operating in a different sort of environment in Director Park, in Pioneer Courthouse Square, in the locations where we provide patrol services. We're technically defined by law as park officers. So our authority and jurisdiction runs a little deeper than just the standard security officer. We can issue exclusions and cites and things like that. And what happens is if you are filming and it's prohibiting us from being able to do our jobs, or it's interfering with our ability to provide public safety, then we can then escalate the situation to a degree. But typically that's not our MO, because we understand that filming is just a natural part of life, and unless it's intensifying a situation and or it's escalating the situation, typically you will never hear anything from us, although you experience something to the contrary, unfortunately. So I'll talk with her and make sure she's clear on the expectations.
Okay, I really appreciate it. You've been really considerate about this. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely, man. I don't want you guys to have to experience anything more than you have to already, man. I know you guys are up against a rock and a hard spot trying to do your thing, and we're just kind of caught in the middle trying to do ours. So
yeah, no sweat.
We're happy to do whatever we can.
Okay, well, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.